Welcome to Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Theo from Concept. So today we are going to create this in Adobe Photoshop. So let's just get into it. So I'll go ahead and open up my application. For this tutorial I'm using Photoshop CC 2018, and I'll just click on File, click on New. This business card we are going to be creating, I'm going to be setting my width to 1125 by 675, and I'll increase the resolution to 300. Now you notice that I'm keeping the color mode as RGB because this is a tutorial. If I'm done with this, I'm going to change it to CYMK in order to print it out. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is actually take care of the back cover. So let's go ahead and import some few images. I'm actually going to import 2 images. So I'll just go to my desktop and import the logo and the picture of our tutorial. So I'll just, unfortunately I have someone here, so I'll just hold down Ctrl and press A, Ctrl X to cut it out, Ctrl W to close the document, and I'll come here and paste it in, so Ctrl V. So I'll resize this to probably fit the way I want. So maybe something like this is okay. Then I'll reduce the opacity to about 20%. Let's try 50. Then I'll create a layer mask, and I'll use my brush to brush over probably this portion. I want this part to be faint because I'll be typing something there. So the next thing will be grabbing my logo. I'll bring it over to this side. So I'll probably reduce the size to something like this. Then I'll go ahead and type in my text. So for my text, I'll select the Tahoma font. So I don't know why, but I think I'm starting to like this font. So I'll just type in UMAT as in UMAT, and I'll increase it. So let's just say probably I should go for something I can I actually want to go for a font which has the narrow version of it. So you can see for Arial you can actually go for the narrow version, the same way you can go for the normals. I want it to be very thin. So for this I'll just probably reduce the size to around let's try 40. I don't want it to be too big, so I think 40 is okay. So we are going with Arial 40. Then I'll put the logo somewhere around here, probably increase it a bit. Okay, so I think this text is too much. I'll reduce it. Let's make it about 30. I want the dimensions or the edges of the text to be somewhat aligned to the edges of the logo. So I think I'm okay with this. Then I'll just create a rectangle or a line depending on which shape tool you are using. So I think a rectangle is okay for me for just this part. So I'll click and drag this maybe around here. Now since this is a tutorial, I'm not going to align everything perfectly, but if you are creating it for yourself, well, you should. Okay, so I'll just close this up. The next thing would be for the back where your information will be. So I'll go ahead and create a new document, and I'll leave the width as the same, so 1125 by 675 and the resolution is 300. I just hope I got it right. So we will have to first consider the background or the shapes, and I will be using the rectangle tool to be creating that. So we have to have just something to design the borders for our business card. So I'll go ahead and duplicate this, and I'll make this instead of total black, I'll make it somewhat gray. So I'll go with 20 20 20. Then I'll probably change this to maybe this. So let's just see. I'll bring this on top so that we see the difference. So something like this is looking fine to me. What I'll do is hold down Ctrl and press J to duplicate. You can also just click and drag onto the new layer icon here. It will create a duplicate for that. Then I'll click and drag this here. But what I'll do is I'll hold down Ctrl and press T to bring up the transformation, or with the move tool, just click on any of these edges. Right click and flip this horizontal. So we have the ash coming from this side, we have the or gray moving to the other side. And I'll probably bring up my ruler and get to the center of this. You can also adjust this, so depending on how you want this to be. So I'll bring up the ruler and probably put this in the center and make this as small as that. So for now, I think I'll be going with this. So yeah, we are still going to be importing the logo. So I'll just click and drag the logo in here. I think like this is okay to me. Then I'll create a rectangle. You know what, let's use a line about 5 pixels, and I'll hold down Shift, click and drag so that this line is vertical. Any direction I go, if I go diagonally, it's going to be at 45 degrees, but if I leave Shift, then I can orient it anyway. But I want it to be 90 degrees, so I'll hold down Shift and make sure it's aligned properly. Now let's just go ahead and start typing in our text. So I'll go ahead and highlight these entire shapes or layers, hold down Ctrl and press G to create a group for them, and I'll create a new group and call it probably text. Now you can rename anything by just double clicking on it. So I'll grab my type tool and I'll type in I think I have the information here, so for this I'll just copy. So University of Mines and Technology, make this about 8. So I misspelled university over here. Now it would be nice if you type all of this in block letters. So I'll just, instead of typing everything in block letters, I'll just go to my character, then I'll select all block letters from here. You can also use this to make it, give it some bigger block letters followed by the smaller ones. But I think I'll just go with everything being the same. So like that. Now if you don't have the character, just go to Window, then you click on character, which is right here. So it will just pop up. Okay, so I'll highlight this and probably reduce the size. Yeah, I think around 4 should be okay. And this time around, I'll just set it to regular. So to make sure this is aligned at the center, honestly, I don't know. I'm just going to gauge with my eyes. So probably about here should be just fine. So anything else, I'm just going to be aligning it using that. So I think the text is the image is already in the center. The same applies for the text. So I'll go ahead and type in another text. That would be UMAT. Now I want this to be a smaller a because that's how it is done here. So I'll highlight this and I'll increase the style. I'll go back to normal, by the way. So something like this. Now I'll come back to my character and I'll increase the distance between each and every letter. So to do that, you just go to this VA over here and you increase it. Like I said, I want the edges to be on the same line. So as I'm increasing it, probably I'll decrease the text because I think it's too big. So I think maybe let's go with 35. I think 35 is okay for me. Now, yeah, since, come on, this is a tutorial, so I don't really want to be spending that much time because I know you guys are busy and you can't stay around until I'm done, planning all my things out. So I'll type in Takwa followed by Ghana, and I'll reduce the font size to maybe around 16. And I think it's still too much, so probably still too much, probably 8. You know what, I'll just make it 5 or 4. So 4, just like this, and I'll increase this to something like let's try 200, and I think I'm okay. So at any point in time, you can just grab the move tool and reposition anything you think didn't go too well. Okay, now I'll just grab the rest of the information. So I'll just start with probably this one, which is the school's website. So I'll just change this to about 8. Now for a URL, obviously you have to use the small letters, so I'll just make it small. Again, a font size of 6 points, and I'll change the text color to red. Now, like I said, this is totally dependent on you. You can always make it however it suits you. I'm just showing you the way. Okay, so the next thing would be the name. So I'll grab the name. Now I'll bring up another ruler. I want everything to be assigned or aligned, I should say. So this time around, I'll be using the left align text, and I'll change this to, again, I'll capitalize everything. So something like this, and let's give myself a position. So even though I'm just a student, I just came up with this, so I'll be using this for now. Okay, so I'll just type it in. Again, reduce the size. So you don't have to be consistent in this particular so you don't have to be consistent when you are creating this particular one. I know I've been telling you in the past that if you select one font color, you should probably run through, but this you can just play with it as many times as you want. So we have the phone number, so I can have a heading like phone numbers followed by a colon. I'll hit enter, then I'll put in the phone numbers. Now the next thing will be email addresses followed by a colon. So I'll have the email addresses over here. Now for email addresses too, I'll just make sure it is set to the small text. Now I'm going to hit tab on my keyboard several times to align this over here. The same way I'll do that for this. This is because I want the telephone numbers and the email addresses to be somewhere farther from where this text is, so that it doesn't actually look like is right underneath it. So I think something like so is okay to me. So if the text or the text color, so if the text or the text color is not nice to you, I mean, you can change it and make it what you think suits you the most. So I'll create a last line, and this time around I'll make it probably 2 pixel. Still holding down shift, I'll just click and drag from here. So yeah, I think we are done. This is what we are getting for our front and our back. So yeah, if you still want to throw in some few other effects rather than having just a white background, you can always go ahead and import this image, which I'm just going to do right now, and I'll put it on top of this background. And after the alignment, I'll just totally reduce the opacity. So I'll make it probably around 5, so that it is there alright, but it is not too visible to be distracting to whoever you're handing this particular business card to. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch more of our videos, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Fino Concepts, and I'll see you in the next one.